Yeah. Welcome to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. Hi, everybody. How you doing? I'm Gonzo. This is the Maz. That's our team place kicker.
Chuck.
Chuck. Chuck can get it done.
What's up, guys?
Chuck has got a career high from 59 yards. And we don't let Lucy hold anymore because
he's got bad hips now.
Well, we found out Chuck can play. Chuck can ball out. What are you gonna do? So Halloween weekend, we were gonna do some stuff that's themed. I ended up at a lovely grown folks, meaning adults over the age of 30, party last night, and nobody told me that it was going to be a toga party, and I came supporting the wrong empire. Everybody was Hail Caesar. I was Hail Palpatine. But yeah, Halloween weekend was pretty fun. What did you do? Nothing.
Oh, I was away this weekend.
Oh, okay.
I was in North Carolina. We were visiting our grandson.
So you're saying you're cheap and you don't like trick-or-treaters.
And then we came home late yesterday and I watched the World Series. Holy crap.
Woo-hoo. By the way,
no,
bravo.
Do your thing.
No, you're just mad because you thought you thought the Blue Jays were going to win it.
Can somebody please tell me why? And John Schneider, the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, was very diplomatic and patient about this, but I'm sure there's going to be more stories about this today.
There's going to be some deep feels here. Here we go, folks.
Why were they giving Ohtani extra time to warm up between innings to start the game like that? Just because he was batting? There's no official rule in place because they had. This was a story as the game developed because they kept talking about it. And
right.
John Smoltz was pissed. He made comment to it. First of all, he started it with a question. He's like, I'm wondering why they're giving Ohtani so much extra time to warm up between pitches. Okay, then he kind of like felt the air a little bit, right? The guy next to him, the other announcer, was like, well, whatever.
He read the room.
Goes into the next inning again, and it becomes a story because he comes out into the next inning. Now, neither times was he either in the batting circle, at bat, on base. He was just not ready, right?
Right.
So there's no official rule in place as this other umpire came in because they have another umpire that is there. And
so
if
they
any
were
questionable
granting
stuff,
him space.
It was basically discretionary on the umpires. Okay, so it's umpire discretion.
Okay.
That's not acceptable because
it's not Why? Why isn't it acceptable?
Well, because it was an exorbitant amount of extra time. Just because he was pitching, it makes no sense.
You just mad Toronto left.
No, I'm mad in that situation. And again, John Schmaltz is a smart guy and also an ex-pitcher, Hall of Famer.
Right.
If he was going to make light to it, and
I'm not being rude. I'm just keeping an eye on our chat room. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's like that was not cool. Now again, Ohtani got pulled before the fourth inning. They were losing at that point, so people were going to say, well, it didn't matter in the game. Okay, that's fine. So you're saying that if you shoot at somebody and you miss them, it's okay, right? You can shoot at people as long as you don't hit them. No, wrong is wrong. It should be addressed, and certainly moving forward, there's got to be a rule in place to not have that happen. There should be no specific advantage to anybody just because they're playing a second position. Okay?
Uniform umpire discretion?
I don't know, but something needs to be addressed, and I'm sure there's going to be continuing.
It was like 30 seconds.
No, it was not. It was more than that. It was minutes.
Oh, for crying out loud!
No, 'cause you're not watching.
You hate everything.
30 seconds. It shows you weren't watching. No, it was like an extra 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Of course, I wasn't watching. I was at a party.
Yeah,
I was too busy having a good time.
Anyway, so big problem there. Not happy and whatever. That's
drinking beer and smoking cigars with my buddy Pete. Shout out to Pete. How you doing, Greek?
Hypocrisy at its finest. That's baseball.
Damn the man.
So yeah, screw the Dodgers.
Screw the Dodgers.
Although,
they're the champs.
To be honest, I really wasn't rooting for Toronto, but I gotta say, I do like some of the guys on that team.
Did you see Tim Kirchin's reaction? They last night. First of all, ESPN was effusive of the praise of the game. I mean, yeah, they blow up everything. You can have a 9-6. Snooze fest defensive game, they'll blow it up. It's their job to blow everything up. And I don't disagree that it was an epic series. Okay, what do we have? 3 extra innings, including a doubleheader. They played a doubleheader, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
okay? And the 2 best teams were definitely there. Okay, I know Yankee fans want to cry about, and Mets fans want to cry about, no.
The Yankees haven't been the best team in the American League for 5, 6, 7 years.
I understand
it's been
that.
a while.
Okay, I love my New York fans. They think that every team from New York should win the championship every year, and that's beautiful. Shout out to Joe. I know you're watching. You're creeping. And of course, Danny Heimbender. He's here all the time.
Creeping.
Yeah. There's 3 shout outs that nobody's gonna hear. So baseball got it right. Baseball got it right. Baseball got the most out of the 2 best teams this year. The 2 best. Probably the 2 best organizations. The 2 best. And they had the best player spotlighted, the one that you hate because he takes too long between pitches or innings.
And he cheated.
And they got it right. But Tim Kirkchin, the guy who's been covering baseball for 35 years, 40 years, he says it's the greatest Game 7 I have ever covered ever in my life. I have ever seen the greatest Game 7 and the greatest 7-game series, World Series that I have ever seen. Would that be true?
It's possible.
Is it possible?
Well, you mentioned three
I mean,
extra
we've seen
inning
some
games.
great ones.
That extra inning game, the
Last year
marathon,
was pretty great.
you could write a book on that game
Oh,
based
yeah.
upon everything that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Just like in life, one little
100%.
thing changes the direction and the outcome. But that baseball game had 50 little things
I
and
hope-
big things
I
that
hope all
changed
these
the
people.
outcome.
I hope all these people can hear us. I think our volume is good. You might want to bring your microphone a little closer, though. Let me take a quick look here. But as we're jibber jabbering, there you go, there. We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're all right. Well, we're just hearing a lot of reverb.
My
Don't
voice
worry.
projects.
The studio is a work in progress, and the work is being done. You're going to see something different in the background next week. You watch, because I can't get a stapler to staple through brick concrete wall. But yeah, I mean, they were hyped up. They were. I see the praise was a little overblown, but they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong.
No, it was an amazing
it was
series.
epic. And you know me, I'm just a casual baseball fan.
Well, here are the numbers.
So-
I heard this a few weeks ago. Overall, sales, money generated, revenues, all that stuff, viewerships, all that. Baseball overall was up about 8% this year. From
That's
last year.
significant.
And
That's huge.
Up prior from the year before. So last 3 years it's trending upwards, which is good. And again, the changes, you can attribute some of that to them
Mazel.
shortening the games, and obviously with the pitch clocks, and putting the runner on second base in extra inning games, and other things to keep the game sort of fluid. And if anything, that was the biggest complaint, I guess, of some people, because they
Right.
got bored, because they're boring,
Well-
but not because they understand baseball. Sorry. But
One major adjustment that they made since the pandemic is that a lot of teams have become value oriented. They've become value focused because they knew they were going to have to get the fans back in the stands. They knew it. So a lot of franchises became value focused. And I think that there's still a little bit of that value focus, which is the reason why they're seeing their numbers trend up. Focus on value. Make it easier, cheaper for people to bring their family of 4, because that's the paradigm that they use, right? Family of 4. What's it cost to bring a family of 4 to a football game, to a basketball game, to a hockey game, to a baseball game? Okay, and we're seeing that baseball is right now probably the best value. Probably, don't you think so?
Yeah, I mean, overall, if things are in, I don't want to say we're still in a down economy, because I don't think we are, but there's factors.
We're in a flat economy.
Flat economy is a fair, statement. So again, baseball, sort of, I don't want to say it's a niche
Knock
sport.
the red hat off your head. Watch out there.
Well, it's sort of trendy, I guess, in a way. It's not super popular, but it's growing again. I mean, at one time we know baseball.
8%, dude. That's friggin'
That's big.
huge.
Yeah, I mean, baseball was America's pastime.
And
so
what was it? What was it, like 5% last year?
something 3-4%.
Yeah,
but-
year over year.
Yeah, it's still improving. So it's that's a good sign. Now here's
The stock market should be so lucky.
here's the gloom and doom, because next year will be the last year of baseball, because going into 2027 there will be a player strike. So get ready for that. So
There's another CBA due.
yeah, the owners want
Oh well, let me tell you.
salary
okay?
cap. That's what they're trying to introduce.
Yeah,
in baseball.
and I see. First of all, I see any work stoppage in a professional sport. I see it as stupid. Okay, it's stupid. It's trying to grab as much money off the table between the owners and as a group and the players as a group. Okay, and baseball, you have a huge mound of money.
You think work stoppages are stupid? What about our government and their work stoppage? You think
Well, that's even
stupid?
double. That's doubly
You know?
stupid.
I mean, come on, it's a joke.
But don't get me started about that. I'll knock your red hat off your head again.
Anyway.
For the empire. So I mean, it was dumb when the NFL did it, and they took 5 years to recover from it. The PR was for shit. Okay, hockey did it for a little bit, and then they were like, we got enough money to go around. You know, grow the sport, share the money. Okay, I full well agree that owners or ownership groups, wherever that money's going to, yes, you should have the lion's share. You put up all the risk. You're the one that paid for the franchise. You're the one that runs things. That's fine. Okay, but you gotta pay the face of the place. You gotta pay them.
Who's the face?
The players. Okay, the players.
I agree. I'm all about players making money.
Okay, the WNBA might learn the fucking hard way if they decide that they're going to pull a work stoppage. A work stoppage would kill that league. Okay, they have to share the revenue. If the revenue goes up, pay the fucking players. Okay, but and this was an idea that was put forth, I do believe, with the NBA collective bargaining agreement, that if revenues goes down, are you guys going to give us some money back? And that caused a 2-week kerfuffle.
That's one of the many things where the disconnect usually comes into play.
Right.
Is if you're going to take from here, then I need to take from there.
Right.
Neither side tends to agree on what those amounts should be. The
Yeah.
biggest issue is going to be the salary cap. And baseball is trying to introduce a salary cap because you can see now in baseball where the Dodgers are paying X amount for near Taiman, so other teams are paying this amount,
Right.
the Marlins or whoever.
Right.
The system is a little broken. It needs to be addressed. There needs to be accountability for the teams that do pay more for their players. I know the luxury tax is part of it, but it's not like it is in the NBA. It's different. They pay more of a profit share, or they're responsible for more of a profit share as opposed to, making it a more balanced, fair league. So what they've done essentially is those teams have sold their soul to just stay viable financially, like the Marlins, like others, where they know it. Okay, we know we're not going to be.
You're never going to get the owners to buy into it because even the poorest owner in Major League Baseball, okay, they have a franchise where they average 4,000 people a game, and if they didn't get profit sharing, they'd be broke. They'd be in debt.
Oh, of course.
They wouldn't make any money.
Of course.
But that profit sharing is huge.
Well, the top 5 or 6 teams support the league. I mean,
Exactly.
that's just how it is.
So yeah, socialism.
The
Telling
Dodgers
you,
last year
socialism.
alone,
God damn it.
Off of Ohtani, estimated earnings were $750 million, just off of his name, off of what they generated. They think from him.
He's the greatest player in baseball right now.
Yeah. So
Probably in our generation. Whatever they give him, he should be the first $1 billion player. Who gives a shit? That guy is amazing. But the point is you cannot
top 3.
cost yourself dollars fighting over nickels. You cannot cost yourself dollars fighting over nickels. Okay? I don't think you'll ever see another NFL work stoppage. I don't think you'll see it. The NFL players are paid well as far as percentage of the gross, percentage of the revenues. They are paid the best, and the owners are happy.
No, they do pretty well.
Yeah, they do really well.
All these guys do very well. That's not
Right.
Really, there's like in society and in life when you have the haves and the have-nots, and that is in a arbitrary value because what I have may be enough for me.
Right.
May not be enough for you, but it could be enough for me. So when I say haves and
I've seen what you
have-nots, in the have-not category are these millionaires that are going against the haves that are the billionaires that run the show. Okay, it's the haves and the have-nots, and it will always be.
But listen, what we'll do is we'll get into the story of individual lives, okay? Yeah. And what players see is that they have a very finite career. You know, running backs average, 3 to 5 years? You know, your NBA players average, I think 12 to 14 years.
About average, but there's peaks.
Right, but there's a limited
there.
number. Meanwhile, these billionaires who own your franchise, they're going to go on and still continue to make money 20, 30 years down the road. Okay, so there's also the individual.
Yeah, their value exponentially grows every year.
Right.
Every franchise, no matter what sport
Right.
you're in, it has more value year after year. That's the insanity.
So
of it. Yeah.
there's not going to be a so now that we've bored the 14 of you that are actually watching this show, why don't we get on to the degenerate gambling portion of the program?
I counted 16 people watching.
16? Okay, there you go. Hey,
But
thanks for watching, Mom.
Restream.
Restream.
We got some games we can talk about today. Also, I want to
we
get
got
into
tons of games we can talk about today.
Also-
we don't even have to talk about the Dolphins.
No, we will though quickly.
Oh, we will.
You know, plus also on my Friday night podcast with the boys in the Berg, we talk about a top 5 list every week, and this week it was focused on fantasy approach and gambling approach. They focused on the gambling, I focused on the fantasy side, and it was basically just kind of like what I do to build a lineup. What steps do I take? What do I look for? So we'll get into some of that too, and we'll kind of interject that after we do some of the games.
Well, you want to take a break when we do that? Then we'll get into that afterwards?
Yeah, that's
after the
fine.
break?
We'll
Okay,
come back
well,
from
let's
that.
get into the slate.
Colts Steelers. Oh gosh, here it is. we talked ad nauseam before.
Tell me about your childhood.
I looked at the Steelers schedule moving forward. We're not going to be favored in any of the next 6 games.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, and by the way, too, a team that had 1 win coming into this week was favored to win the division. And we have a 4-game lead on them. What does that tell you about the Steelers? Okay, so here we go. Steelers at home.
No, it's only 3.5.
They're a dog. That's a shock.
Home dog.
Yeah, Colts are. All right, seriously. The only thing that concerns me, the only thing that's still hanging over me a little bit for the Colts, that is a little bit of a shade, is I feel like I'm waiting for the Daniel Jones shoe to drop, right? Because
not gonna happen.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we've been waiting for that. They're 2-1. They're 3-1. They're 4-1. He's playing unbelievable. They're 5-1. They're 6-1. They're dominating.
He's not even playing unbelievable. He's playing consistently.
Yes, Jonathan Taylor has been unbelievable. The offensive line, both sides. That team is a contender. There's no hiding from Indianapolis at this point, right?
All right. Well, hang on before you go on. Okay. Let's draw.
Colts and over. By the way, that's my pick.
Oh, Colts and what?
Colts and over 52.5.
Oh, okay.
They may score 40 themselves. So
Right.
it's definitely for me. Colts minus 3.5 over.
And I'll agree with you. Well, where's my broom? I'll get the broom in a minute.
Sticking up Tomlin's ass.
You're worse than I am with the Dolphins, man. I'm telling you. The direct correlation between Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, by the way, Daniel Jones playing behind an excellent offensive line. Not just good, they're excellent. They're elite.
They're good.
They're probably top 5, probably top 3. Okay? You now see all the drama and trauma that he went through in New York. Let's remember, the man played for 4 years with Saquon Barkley in his backfield. 4 years. Okay? And now he's playing with an elite running back in his backfield. Okay, but that elite running back in his backfield, Jonathan Taylor, is destroying people. Now, Saquon would have his moments. Saquon would have his big games. Saquon could pick the team up on his back, okay? But he did not have a good offensive line at any time. So that chaos made Daniel Jones look like shit.
Unrelated. Do you know who has more career rushing touchdowns than Saquon Barkley?
Who?
Kareem Hunt. How's that for you? Put that in your hat.
Kicking a drunk
Is
broad in the
Kareem
face
Hunt
must
better
have done
than
something for him.
Saquon Barkley?
So white.
That was
You're such a Caucasian.
because I never
Swear
call
to
him by his first name.
Honky.
I've been calling him Barkley since he's been in the league. Sorry, Saquon.
Yeah.
So basically, Kareem Hunt's a better running back than Saquon Barkley.
Wrong. Anyway.
Yeah. So statistics do lie sometimes. Yes.
But I'm just telling you, and this will play into
Fun
after
fact.
the break when I come back and I have my rant about the Miami Dolphins. This will play into that. is that a quarterback
I already heard it.
behind a good offensive line will be a good quarterback. And if you're not, you're toast.
Who are you taking? Colts, Steelers.
Colts.
Good.
All day.
Do you know why he got me this? It's not just because of he knows I love kickers. Frank, this is obviously you know what we're talking about. You know the colors he's wearing right now?
Yes, I know.
You.
I still can't find that shirt in extra large for you.
I'm gonna blackface him for next week.
I'm gonna get you
and
a
I'm gonna
Charlie
call
Brown
him
shirt.
Tomlin from now on.
I'm gonna get you a fucking Charlie Brown shirt bigger than shit. You
Tomlin,
watch.
right here next week. You'll see.
So yeah, I honestly, do you have the odds on the Colts to win the Super Bowl?
Where?
I like
can
it.
Find it.
I like it.
I would take it.
Trade deadline's coming up. Trade deadline is what? Tuesday night at midnight? Wednesday night at midnight?
Right, it's usually Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, midnight?
Yeah.
I like it. I also like the fact that they are going to be very interested in acquiring Bradley Chubb from the Miami Dolphins. That will only make a decent defense even better.
Are they going to trade Waddle? Dolphins?
They trade Waddle okay. We got to wait till after the break.
Bengals and Bears.
All I can tell you is they trade Waddle. You're never going to see me at a fucking game again. I'm done. I'll be done with them. So go ahead.
Chicago -2.5 road favorites in Cincinnati. Who's quarterbacking for Cincinnati today? Tyler?
It's not going to be Joe Flacco.
Who is it? Tyler Badgett? Is he their backup?
No. They're going back to Browning.
Oh, Browning. Jake Browning.
Jake Browning.
God.
Listen.
Oh, God.
Here's the magic of the NFL. If they got tape on you, they figure you out real
Jesus,
quick.
70 catches so far.
Yeah. So I don't think Browning will necessarily raise his game unless he has learned something from his benching. But Joe Flacco has some sort of a sprained shoulder joint.
It's his AC joint.
He's old.
He is old.
I sprained my ACL getting in this chair.
All right, Bengals. Here's the deal. Caleb Williams. I again.
Another bagging on Williams. Go ahead.
I watch a little tape.
Mm-hmm.
I watch guys that watch a little tape, and it's the same issues again. It's a development issue, and he's just not there yet. Now, at times he's playing well and in spots and on script, and he can make all the plays. But again, there still has to be that development that needs to continue to take place, and it's just questionable. Fortunately for him this week, they're playing the Bengals.
Fortunately.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm taking the Bears in this spot, laying the 2.5.
Laying the 2.5.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do over-unders. I suck at over-unders, so I'm just gonna do. I'm doing the Bears here. Lay the 2.5 in this game, because again, I just think the Bengals, and they're 3-5. This is pretty much the season for them because again, Ravens are supposed to make a run. The Steelers are who they are.
Yeah.
Bears -2.5.
Well, listen. The sad thing about the Bengals right now, besides the fact that of course they're missing their superstar quarterback. The sad thing about the Bengals is everybody went into this season and thought that their defense was going to be an absolute dumpster fire. Everybody thought, oh my God, they're going to be terrible. And they haven't. They haven't. They really haven't. Okay? And they've even, I mean, you look at them, what would you say they're 3-5, 3-4? What are they? Something like that?
3-5.
Okay? I mean, we've seen their defense keep them in games. We've seen their defense shut people down, okay? So what's sad is the defense is way better than everybody thought it was going to be. And I mean, all they needed was an average defense. A defense that will hold the opposition to under 24 points a game, okay? Which isn't elite. You know, holding somebody under 19 points is elite. So, you know, you hold an average of 24 points, and you have Joe Burrow. Well, Joe Burrow scores 24 points in his sleep. Okay? So that's being wasted right now. That being said, I'm going to take those 2.5 points. I'm going to go against Caleb Williams, against him. And I believe Caleb Williams is going to be a fantastic quarterback. He's got the right coach. Ben Johnson is going to turn him into at least a younger, faster version of Jared Goff. At least. Okay, you know, more mobile because Williams can take off running. This is a developmental year. Just face facts. And they'll go and they'll put a bigger, badder offensive line in front of him next year. And he'll reap the benefits of that. But right now, Give me the Bengals. Give me that home dog plus 2.5 points. I think the defense steps up really good. Browning plays just well enough to not lose. Yeah. So give me them Bengals and them points.
Bengals are terrible.
Yeah, they're terrible. They're terrible.
They're terrible. They're giving up the most points in the league. Where are you getting their defense being that good? They're only giving up 31 points a game. So
Is that all?
They're terrible. Vikings and Lions. Let's see. Detroit, 9.5-point home favorite. Makes sense. JJ coming back. JJ coming back today for the Vikings. Does it matter, really? I mean, he wasn't very good when he played. He hasn't played that much because he can't stay healthy. This is another situation where, I don't know, they got rid of Sammy. They got rid of my boy Sam Darnold. They had it in the building. They had the grown up in the building, and they decided, again, somebody decided. I have a hard time thinking it was Kevin O'Connell because he knew what he had in the building as well. And yet they still shipped him, and now they're struggling. And
It's a matter of draft capital. It's draft capital. They spent a second-round draft choice on this kid.
Okay.
And you have to see what you have.
Well, okay, but they had him. He's been in the building now for 2 years, and he can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
And
but
they
this
still
is the
decided
first
to
time
move
he's
him.
had extended, and he can't stay healthy. So they're finding out.
He wasn't that good in Michigan.
They're
in my
finding
opinion.
out.
So
Okay,
anyway, next.
well, they're finding out.
The
Neither
Vikings-
was Brady. Brady sucked at Michigan, and look what happened there.
The Vikings get crushed today by the Lions.
Crushed?
So I got the Lions today minus 16. No, 9.5. Okay, minus 9.5. I got the Lions
At home.
At home. There you go. Get your broom.
Oh, okay.
Pull it out of Tomlin's ass. Show
you
it.
You need some broom.
Show the broom.
I agree.
La-
Broom, clean sweep.
When we were going through the picks last week, there were a lot of games that were 7.5, 7. There were some big spreads last week.
And big hooks.
Yeah, and they ended up covering. It got this week too. Another one here. Packers, Panthers, 13.5 points. Packers at home. I like the Panthers here, and I'll tell you why. Again, going back to what we do on Fridays and stuff,
Let me just put this down over here.
beginning of the year, we were to make 5 predictions on what we thought was going to happen. And then one of my predictions, besides the Dolphins being terrible, was for Carolina Panthers to double their win total from last year. Last year they won 4 games, and I had them winning 8 this year. Really a lot of faith in Canales, faith in the fact of improvement in the quarterback position, and just getting better. Okay, I knew the defense was terrible last year, but again, that defense is even getting slightly better. They have improved statistically. I'll give you the numbers right here. Carolina Panthers defense is actually 10th best in terms of total yards allowed. Now, if you go back to where they were last year, they were the worst team in the league. So they've improved defensively as well. So that being said, 13.5 points. I mean, I know the Packers are a much better team. And the line makes sense on paper, but you don't play the game on paper. You play it on the field. And I like some weapons today, Carolina. And I'm on McMillan today. We got a little Hard Rock prep going with him. So I will be all over those points. And I like 13.5 points today. And I like Carolina in that game. Matter of fact, give me a first half money line bet with Carolina. I think they go to half with the lead. Like 17-14, something like that. And people were like, oh my gosh, the Packers. Remember the Packers, didn't they tie the Browns in a game? Like 13-13 or something like that. And at times the Packers look almost bored. You know, I mean, Love's good. They got Dobbs back playing healthy, and obviously maybe one of the best tight ends for Tucker Kraft in football. But I just think situations matter. And I just like the Panthers to get inside that number, 13.5. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I do not.
Good.
I also see the Packers as a Super Bowl contender. Nobody's going to want to see Green Bay versus Indianapolis in the Super Bowl, except all the people from the Midwest. But I see Green Bay as a Super Bowl contender. I see Green Bay covering that 13.5. Your little hook. It'll be a 2-touchdown game.
All right.
We have yet to really see a huge Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka Fitzpatrick. I've still got Dolphins on the brain.
You're talking about the defensive back?
Yeah.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
We still have yet to see a big Parsons game. We still have yet to see a 2.5 sack, 2 batted balls, forced fumble recovery, strip sack, just mayhem game that he is known for. Okay, he has, over this first half of the season, he has made a lot of strides to fit in.
Well, he's battled some injuries too.
Right.
He hasn't been 100% healthy
Well, he's
earlier
been
on.
playing with a back injury all
Yeah,
year.
yeah. So it's not like he's been 100% either.
But
so.
this, I believe, is the game that he goes bananas.
Listen, they got Micah Parsons not for the regular season.
Right.
They got him because they know they are that contender,
Right.
and they have an opportunity, if
And
all the pieces are healthy at the right time, to be very dangerous.
And
in the
this
playoffs.
is a game. Now I know you're laying the points, okay?
No, getting the
Or
points.
you're getting the points.
Getting the points.
But I'll lay those points
You could lay the points.
because I think it's going to be a little bit of a blowout.
Chargers and the tight ones.
The tight ones.
Chargers and the tight ones. Now,
The Titans.
man, they've really struggled.
The Titans.
Cam Ward at times has looked lost and terrible. And that's fine.
I would put that on Callahan.
It's not just him. Again, we expect all
Staff.
the rookie quarterbacks to just come out and ball,
Sure.
and that's just not reality. So there's a reason why these quarterbacks get taken so early is because they're going to terrible organizations.
Terrible.
Okay, which means there's other skill position players that they need help with.
And
that's the reason why
how.
they're so bad. So yeah, tough spot, young coach. It'll develop. It just hasn't to this point. And the Chargers, I think, are starting to catch stride. They've dealt with a lot of injuries too. Their wide receiving core always seems to be hurt every year. Allen bounces in and out. McConkey misses a game. Quentin Johnson was the story early on. He's kind of not been really part of the offense as much. They've lost Hampton. They've lost the running back. So, I mean, they've dealt with injuries. But defense is coming back, coming healthy. And you still got the man at the helm throwing that football. So I like the Chargers here. Just a better team. 9.5 points. I'll lay it on the road. You can get to see that game if you want for $15. You pay more for parking than you do to get in that game, by the way. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I think I talked about this last week. Ticket prices. They show up on this site. And you can get to see a Tennessee game for $15. Now,
In Tennessee?
yeah, home game. Now, this is what was shocking.
You hear that, Steph?
This.
I have friends that live in Franklin, right outside of Nashville.
Where are you sitting in Cowboy Stadium for $16? That's what I want to know. Because you're going to pay $100 to park there, and you're going to pay $16.
Bring a jacket. It's a high elevation.
You probably have to man the elevator. That's my guess. That's $16 that you're paying for. But that's just crazy prices. So anyway, interesting. So all right, so we're both on the Chargers in this game?
Yeah.
All right, we're both on the Chargers. Good. All right.
Sure.
We got the Falcons and we got the Patriots. The Falcons and the Patriots. You okay?
Did you add an extra O in that name?
Yes. So the Patriots are a 4.5-point home favorite. Makes sense. That kid Drake May's pretty.
Pats are laying 4.5 at
4.5.
home.
Yeah, Drake May's pretty good. Michael Penix is pretty inconsistent.
He's playing.
Yes. A lot of the guys I listen to during the week are on Atlanta. They're on that side of the ball. They're on Robinson. They think Drake London is a top 10 guy this week. I mean, the Patriots, you know what's interesting about the Patriots, though? Like I mentioned last week, well, who are you picking? I don't know who I'm picking yet.
Well, I'm just giving a slight brushing to the bottom because I know who you're going to pick. I mean, it only makes sense that you're going to pick the Patriots minus 4.5. It only makes sense.
I'm picking the Falcons.
You're nuts.
Here's why. Here's why. The Patriots, their style of play, if you watch a lot of their games, every one of their games is a one-score game in the fourth quarter. Either way. Mostly they're in their favor because they're 6-2. But
same way against the Dolphins.
They run the ball minus Stevenson today, by the way. So maybe we get to see.
Good.
Maybe we get to see some Trayvon Henderson today.
Oh my God!
After
biggest bust of my entire fantasy football season.
No, that's R.J. Harvey for me, and Chuba Hubbard, and a few others. So all right, so yeah, basically, I just think again, I'm going with what the guys are picking up on, and they're picking up on the fact that they think Atlanta's going to be able to move the ball. And when you got guys like Pitts, who's been active the last couple of weeks, and you have Drake London, who is a top flight receiver, Bijan, one of the best guys in the league, I think they're going to present some challenges for the Patriots. Maybe not win the game, but 4.5 points is a lot of points. So I'm going to hold that. That's yours. I'm taking the Falcons.
You ain't getting a sweep on this one.
I know I'm not. I'm taking the Falcons plus 4.5.
Mike Vrabel does as his mentor head coach does with his defense. They take away your best thing. Whatever your best thing is, they take it away. And then they take their chances with everything thereafter. And in this instance, they are going to load 8 in the box, and they are going to stuff Bijan Robinson. And that's just been how you successfully deal with the Falcons. Okay, look when they got shut out in Carolina, and what did Carolina do? Stuck 8 and 9 in the box all day. You can throw that ball all day downfield. We'll play man on your outside guys all day. And it was, what was it, J.C. Horn versus Drake London that game?
Yeah.
And Horn owned him.
Yeah.
So that's it. You got zero. You got bageled. You got Blutarski.
Oh.
You got shut out because they took away Bijan and took their chances on the outsides with your wide receivers.
Take a chance.
And that's going to happen today. Simple as that.
You're taking the Patriots.
So I'm taking the Patriots.
Good for you.
-5.5.
49ers at the unfortunate and unlucky New York Giants.
Well, I wouldn't say unfortunate.
With the injury to Scatterboot, that's a
Unlucky.
big deal.
Unlucky.
The injury to Neighbors early in the year,
That's
that's a
bad
big
luck.
deal. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of a big deal. Our 2-6 at home to the 49ers. A little insight here, fantasy wise. I like Jackson Dart today. I think he's going to be
Strong
very
at home.
productive. You know what I saw? His rushing prop is 44.5 yards. Jackson Dart.
Wow.
You know what that tells me in fantasy? Now, just fantasy. Because you know quarterbacks that are mobile put up a ton of points. They give you that advantage. That's been the strength of Jalen Hurts outside of the tush push and some other guys like Drake
Well,
May.
and an additional 4.6 points.
But
is nothing to
if Vegas is telling you he's going to get 4.1 points, right, on the line, let's say he has a really good game on the ground, breaks one for 30, and now you're looking at 70 yards rushing. He blows it out of the water. That's a whole nother touchdown in fantasy. Okay, that's 7 whole points. So he doesn't need to throw 3 touchdowns today to get you to that number that you're looking for in something like DK. His line can, in his yardage progress, I looked, it's 208 yards. So let's say he modestly breaks that, goes for 225. Okay, that's, what is that? That's 9 points. Let's say he gets you that 70 yards on the ground. That's another 7 points. That's 16 points, and you haven't considered any touchdowns yet. Give him 2 total touchdowns, and he's probably like 5x today. And that's very well within reach. So, all right, that being said, that's a fantasy angle. I like the Giants at home today. I don't think they win. I think this is a 1-point victory for the Niners to kick a field goal to win. You love field goal kickers. So again, maybe the over I'm hoping, because that's a big total for teams that are somewhat depleted on offense, right? That's a 48.5 total. And the Giants, you would look at their team and being the front seven, being the strength of the defense, and the Niners defense hit hard. No, that total's almost 50. So I'm going with it. I like the Giants and some points. Maybe they don't win, but hopefully the Niners win like 31-30. That would be perfect for me. So
What's the what are the odds on the money line for the Giants?
well, if they're plus 2.5, they're probably like plus 140. I'm guessing. Plus
I'm going to go with the Giants as well, but I'm also going to take them to win. Give me that money line.
I like it. McCaffrey is on pace for over 400 touches.
Dart has the juice at home. Okay,
400
like most
touches.
rookies, he struggles on the road. Although I don't know, last week he wasn't too bad. But he's got the juice at home. Kid's a winner, proven winner. Okay, proven winner. I still think that we have yet to see the best effort out of that defense, and I think you may see it today.
They may rally, considering that they know how hurt they are on offense. Now, let me
Right.
ask you.
So
I'm mentioning McCaffrey with his 400 touches to this point this
yeah,
year.
he ain't gonna make no 400 touches.
How many
He
touches?
ain't even gonna make it to 300.
How many touches do you have since the start of the year?
2,
Okay, 2 touches. You need to touch it more. That's probably not enough.
maybe 3.
All right. So anyway, so we're both on the Giants. Oh no, yeah, we're both on the Giants here.
The weekend's not over.
Groom the Giants. Wow, the Broncos and the Texans. Everybody's darling pick this week is the Texans.
Take the under.
It's 40.5. It's the lowest
Take
on
the
the
under.
board. Houston's minus 2.5, home favorite. Makes sense. I don't know. Statistically, I think the game is really a pick 'em, honestly. I mean, the 2.5 points is nice if you're the Broncos getting it, but it's the 6-2 Broncos, okay? They've had some tough games. I mean, they've been in some really tough games. And the Texans, their offensive line struggles are just not improving. I mean, it's if you watch a lot of his games, you can easily say the receivers have been hurt. I think Nico is playing today. He's out of concussion protocol, so he's playing. But their offensive line, he just does not have time to throw the football. I watched their game last week, and it seemed like when he got the ball, he had like a second, and he had to decide. And when you're trying to make big plays downfield to guys like Nico Collins and other players, it's just the offense has no fluidity when you're under pressure all the time.
I believe I said that last week. A lot of fantasy owners were complaining that Nico Collins, he's a bust. I'm like, there's a reason for
he's
the lower, the lower productivity.
Yeah, Nico's
There's a reason for it.
He's listen, metric stating, and I remember this because I did the work in the offseason. In terms of the stuff where you really measure a receiver and his abilities, like route separation percentage. Target share is just a quarterback. But the metrics that are inside, like separation, route running ability, all these things that matter to a receiver, he's in the upper echelon of all those statistics. So Nico Collins is a top 5 talented receiver. You just have to have the situation work. He needs time to run his routes and be able to get downfield and stay healthy. So it's a combination of things.
Once you take that big number away from him, because I mean, all the other little numbers, all the other metrics in his the little numbers in his metrics are all elite.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Okay, but his big number, which would be yards per catch, not as high as it was last year.
All right, let's pick the game. -2.5. I'm going to lay it. I think the Texans get to 500. That division is still not very strong outside of the Colts, which is going to be a runaway. But there's still room, I think, to get in. If Houston get on a little bit of a run, you get teams in the AFC like Baltimore doesn't have a winning record yet. Cincinnati doesn't. So you start knocking teams out, and if you win a few, you're all of a sudden in the playoff chase. So I think Texans can do that if they get right. I think it starts today. So lay the 2.5 for me, Texans.
Well, then give me that 2.5 points. Give me Sean Payton finding a way to win the game. Definitely give me a better coach. Give me a more patient quarterback. Give me a defense that is going to get after that mediocre or worse offensive line and drop C.J. Stroud on his ass at least 3 or 4 times. Maybe cause a few turnovers. It's going to be mayhem. Now, I don't think Pat Surtain is going to be back for a couple of more weeks.
No.
But it doesn't matter because that defense is elite. So,
Houston Texans, by the way, giving up the least amount of yards per game in the league.
I don't discount the Texans being another elite defense.
Yeah, they're really good.
But I still have faith in Sean Payton being able to draw up enough offense to score, 20 points, 23, 24.
That would be about the total.
Okay, and that defense not going to give up 16, 17 points.
All right, rah!
What does that say? I'm going to make more points and not let them have any points.
I'm going to do it again.
What?
Rah!
Okay.
Jaguars.
Jaguars you are just a huge Jacksonville fan this year.
In the hapless Raiders.
Hapless?
Man, they got some good players in the team that aren't really helping anybody this year. I know Genthy's been underused. I know Bowers has been hurt. Jacoby Myers, nobody knows where he is. They've really struggled.
I'll speak on the Raiders after you're done.
Geno Smith has been kind of Putinky. But Jacksonville is Jacksonville. They usually go to Europe twice a year and lose both those games, and you're like, oh my gosh, they suck. And you still don't have any faith in Lawrence and whatever. So at times Jacksonville's look really good. Jacksonville's a 2.5 point
You're just
favorite.
not a believer, are you?
No, although I have to say this.
You talk a good game, but you just don't believe. You don't have the courage of your convictions.
DFS. I love my DFS.
Yeah.
My 2 QBs today that I'm leaning on. One of them happens to be in this game. So I like Trevor Lawrence today. I think he steps out.
Is it the hair?
If there's sunshine. I think if there's ever a game where the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to ball, it's going to be against the hapless Raiders. The Raiders are terrible.
The hapless Raiders.
Raiders are terrible. So I like also Brian Thomas in this game. When is he going to do anything? Hopefully today. Give me the Lawrence
Hunter is out.
Thomas combo. Hunter was barely even a part. And the Raiders just continue to stink. So I think the Jaguars in this game laying 2.5. I like it.
Tease it up to 4?
No, I just.
Oh well, no, you get the sweep, but
rolling Saints and the Rams.
Hang on, before you go,
Sorry.
I spoke on the Raiders last night, and it wasn't the Stella Artois speaking, but my friend Pete, he's a huge Raiders fan, along with my friend Danny and a few other people that I know, huge Raiders fans, and I told him last night, and I'll tell anybody else, I said, the team's going to be different next year. It's going to be totally different next year. Why? Tom Brady. Tom Brady is in your front office. Tom Brady has essentially been handed the keys. Okay, because Mark Davis doesn't want anything to do with it. All he wants to do is chase his young girlfriend around the house with his pants around his ankles, with his funky bowl cut, going to get a Happy Meal at McDonald's haircut. Okay, and that's fine. You're a billionaire, whatever. You got your money. You go have your fun, and let the football guy run it. And I think that Tom Brady, if he doesn't outright fire Pete Carroll, he is going to kick Pete Carroll up to the front office, because Carroll got hired because they love him. He's Pete Carroll. Who doesn't like Pete Carroll? Yeah. I hated him for the longest time because he pulled the choke thing against the Dolphins.
So you said Tom Brady's going to get hired? Huh?
Tom Brady is going to
hide the coffee cups.
Hire a new head coach next year.
Hide the coffee cups.
And he is going to revamp the team next year.
All right.
Bet.
Big line here in this game. You got the fans that wore bags on their heads, used to in the 80s, the Saints. Who's their quarterback today? It's a rookie.
Tyler Slough.
Slow. Him too.
Slough.
Slough. Yum.
And the rest of the season, they declared.
Wow, right out of the gate. You really don't know.
Rattler was doing all right.
Oh my gosh, he's so bad. Remember, coming into the year, PFF had him ranked dead last, and he played like it, so it was perfect. It worked out well.
He was doing fine.
Yeah, he was doing great. Let's see. The Rams are favored by 30. Wow, that's insane. No, 14 and a half. Another big one, and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn, I don't care. Minus 14 and a half. I'm laying it. Matter of fact,
people have been falling into that trap.
Which trap?
The trap that they think that that the New Orleans defense isn't worth a shit. New Orleans has actually got a.
Oh, they're not
they're middling or
all
better.
Right, they're not bad. Let's take a look. Not the Bengals, of course. You know how good they are. Right. No, the Saints are not bad. You're right. The defense is not bad, statistically speaking. But offensively, I just think it's going to be such a challenge today. And they're going to keep it so simple. The Rams are healthy. The Rams on defense, that front is going to make it a long day.
And what's the spread?
14 and a half. I'm laying it. So give me the Rams. Yeah, 14 and a half. I like that. Now,
even with the hook.
Best game of the weekend, no doubt.
Wait. Go ahead.
Bills Chiefs.
Go ahead.
It sort of bothers me, and it should bother the Bills, that the Chiefs are favored in Buffalo. Now, if this was the playoffs, I'd be like, okay. But it's not. And this is the regular season. And we know Buffalo is a much better regular season team than they are than a playoff team. They'll probably treat this like their Super Bowl. And for that sake alone, I think that Kansas City run today sort of kind of almost, let's say, comes to an end. But I think today, when you talked about certain guys that you wait for that like Superman performance, today it's Josh Allen. I think today he has one of those days where it's like a 4-touchdown day. And again, this game I think is truly going to be a last possession game. So I think it's going to be whoever is in position that has the ball, either up 3, down 3, whatever it is at that point, is going to be the team that wins the game. So, these two teams are elite. The Chiefs offensively have found it over the last couple of weeks. And you could say it's because they got some pieces back. I mean, ultimately, the main piece they never lost was Patrick Mahomes. So, everything else was just basically he was the captain and just was supposed to just not sink the ship. It was just supposed to keep it afloat until they got things right. And they had the confidence because they've been something that people wanted them to be than what they really were each of the last 2 years. Last year we banged on the receiving core and they dominated. 2 years ago we banged on whoever it was and the defense, was the story. So that's what championship teams do. They find ways to win at the highest of levels. And the Chiefs are playing at that level right now. So best game of the weekend, I think it's an offensive shootout, and I think the Bills win late. So I'm taking the Bills. I'll get the 2.5 points. And what say you?
Let me lay that 2.5. What you're going to see is a tale of two teams that may be heading in two different directions. You have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have made improvements on both sides of the ball. Okay, you talk about the critical personnel or the critical one person that the team never lost in being Patrick Mahomes, and I agree, he is a special quarterback, whatever, he's the franchise. face of the place, yada yada. They never lost Jim Schwartz, their defensive coordinator, who is probably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL.
Power of the Schwartz.
Power of the Schwartz.
Power of the Schwartz.
Is bigger than yours.
Hey.
Okay, and Schwartzy now has a healthy and deep defense on all three phases, on his front seven, in his DBs, in his special packages. You see him running disguise blitzes again. Before he wasn't running disguise blitzes because he had no linebackers. He wasn't running disguise blitzes because he had no DBs. Now he's got guys back healthy the last 3 weeks. And what have they been doing? Shutting everybody down.
Well.
It doesn't matter who you are.
No, they're playing well. The Chiefs are looking like
Doesn't matter who you are.
the cream of the crop again.
I mean, the beatdown that they put on the fucking Raiders was ridiculous.
Oh my God, they had 30 yards of offense or something in that game. It was
And
crazy.
all 4 quarters, even when the backups were in, you
just
get
smacked
nothing.
Yeah. All right,
Okay,
let's
so-
try and get through the next two. So you're on the Bills. Oh, you're on the Chiefs.
I'm
sorry,
on the Chiefs.
I'm on the Bills. Okay. The Sea Chickens against the X-Skins. Here we go.
The Sea Chickens against the X-Skins.
Yes. Right now, the Sea Chickens are laying 2.5 points in Washington. They're still Washington, right? Okay. Yeah. Listen, Sam Darnold, he gets a mention every show. I'll have a little Sammy crush. And I know Minnesota
Rightfully so.
should have still kept him as their quarterback, and they didn't. So the Sea Chickens have him now. And
Everybody
he's
makes
playing
mistakes.
well. The defense... Nobody's even talking about Seattle. Why? What are we doing? We're up Daniel Jones' ass. We're back on the Patrick Mahomes train. We think Dak's having his MVP season. Well, Seattle's 6-2. They're dominating the Midwest. I mean, the Pacific West. And
That defense is
they're nasty good. And here's the thing, too. Coming into last week, I didn't know what they did. I think they were off last week, weren't they? Or no, I don't know. But
they were off last week.
But Seattle had 6 sacks over the last 5 games they had given up on the offensive line. So they're doing it on both sides. Commanders, again, I have little faith in what they really are. And is Daniels even playing? I think he is today. But
Yes, Jaden Daniels is playing today.
they expected big things from Washington last week, and they laid an egg. So I'm on the Sea Chickens today. Lay the 2.5 on the road. What say you?
That's not a bad play. I would definitely give it a little bit of this.
Woo! Jackson Smith and Jigman, 819 yards this year. He's on pace for 1,800 yards.
Yeah, but let's talk about that defense again. Okay,
It's really good.
That offense, that's fine. They got 2 great running backs. They got a couple of good receivers. Smith and Jigba is an elite slot guy. Would you say?
No, he's
all around now.
He's an X
playing the
rec-
X and the Y.
Yeah, he's an X
Okay,
receiver.
good. Yeah, he plays he's all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's go back to 2 years ago when the New York Giants traded Dexter Lawrence out to Seattle. And they were like, who's going to give us? And Seattle said, well, we'll give you some. And Lawrence has just absolutely been the bedrock pillar of that defense. Okay? He is a disruptor. He shuts down the running game between the tackles. And what do you see all the AFC or the NFC West teams try to do? Run between the tackles. And you get nothing. You get nothing. Against the Rams, I'm sure Kyron Williams is still seeing Dexter Lawrence in his face. Okay, because he likes to run between the tackles, but not with Big Dex there. So yeah, I see the Seahawks as a dark horse. I think they're gonna win one playoff game, if not a couple. They might be in the NFC Championship
all right.
game.
Let's get through tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today, sorry. Let's
Go Packers.
beat the Commanders. Okay, last game Monday night. This is a good one. We got the Redbirds versus the Indian Haters. So
The Indian haters. How do Cowboys hate Indians?
they fought them for 100 years.
Not Cowboys.
Cowboys and the Indians. Did you watch any of those shows?
Cowboys.
Gunsmoke, Bonanza. Oh my God, where are you right now? Anyway, Redbirds versus the Indian Haters. Who's starting for the Redbirds today? It's not Kyler Murray.
No, it's going to be Jacoby Brissett.
Wow.
And oddly enough, guess what?
He's 45 on DK.
And that offense, their passing game is more efficient with Jacoby Brissett.
I'm not going to argue that.
How's that for weird?
Listen, min price on DK, Jacoby Brissett, by the way. It's like 4,500.
Oh, take him all day long. He's going to get you 25 points.
Oh, that's a lot. But
That's
although,
a lot,
listen,
but watch.
this is a little DFS nugget right here.
Okay.
Michael Wilson, slot receiver. Dallas gives up the second highest DBOA versus slot receivers.
Very nice.
And they had an injury to their receiving core. Who's not playing today? Their number 2 is not playing today for Arizona. It's obviously going to be Marvin Harrison. The number 2 is not playing. So insert.
Talking about Dortch?
No, he's not there too. But I'll think of it. But either
Zay Jones?
No, but
I can't believe I remember all these receivers.
I don't even know if he's on the team. But no, he's playing today. Okay, so back to the game. I am on the Cowboys today, and it's 3.5. They're at home, which, by the way, $16. You can go see them. Yeah, Dak's MVP year. He's been unbelievable. I looked at his number on play action passes. I had this stat from last week, and he was like 60 of 70 for like whatever 7 touchdowns. Or something.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't have to sell Dak Prescott to me.
That's a team. Oh, go ahead.
What's the point line?
3.5.
No point line. The total.
53.5.
Take the over.
It's a big one. Yeah, it's a big
Give
one.
me the over.
Right now,
I want that. And the Cowboys are minus
3.5. I like that too. Yeah.
I like that too.
George Pickens so far, 685 yards, 6 touchdowns. Man, that's unbelievable. Having an unbelievable year.
We need to hear from Jason Ferguson. I think we will.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think we will this game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big tight end game. I think McBride's going to go bananas.
I got both those guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, but lots of points to be had for everybody.
Yeah, a lot of throwing,
with the
like you
exception
said.
of Arizona running backs.
Take the attempt prop for Jacoby Brissett, whatever it is. Take the over.
Right.
They're going to be chucking the football.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh,
I like that bet actually. We'll find that. So
yeah, we'll go look at it. We
that's
gotta
all.
hurry up. It's almost 12 o'clock.
That's all the games. Take a break. Come back real quick. We'll talk.
Fuck a break.
All right. You sure?
Yeah.
We have good promos. So you want to say?
Nah. We have sponsors or something?
Don't you want to see Ed?
Listen, if I was getting paid for this, I'd do it every week.
All right, top 5 guys, success for fantasy lineups.
There you go.
What I like to talk about in this little segment here is the approach. This is what I use. Things I look for, things I use, tools, stuff like that to help build a strong fantasy lineup. I would think I'm pretty good at it. I mean, I don't win every week, but I think at least my approach is sound. I know what I'm talking about, and I have good discipline.
all right.
Discipline in terms of using the same methods, not trying to get crazy, not trying to, whatever. So, all right, just real quick. I'll run through the top 5. Vegas, DraftKings, FanDuel, Hard Rock, all these entities that are out there that do this for a living.
Don't forget that guy Larry.
And
Takes action too.
Larry. Let them do the work for us, okay? They're the ones that set the lines. Do you know how much work goes into what they do, their algorithms and such, to give us that line? Now, typically that line's pretty good. It's accurate, right? We all struggle with it, the over-unders, the sides and stuff like that. Use that as a baseline. If you come into a situation, and we went through all these games today, and you got totals in the 50s, that's a tell, okay? That's Vegas. That's these other guys telling you that there's going to be points, which equals
People
production, which
Yeah.
means what is you're chasing? Production. Opportunity leads to production, leads to points. Okay, so use those. Go through it and do your homework and compare. For instance, I'll use a DK as an example. The players have baseline prices, and if you run through, let's say, just the receiver positions, you look at the top 10 guys every week, it's usually the same names. Now, those guys will drop in price, raise in price. Maybe an injury happens and a guy slides into the top 10 spot. Whatever their baseline is, if there's a significant movement in that baseline, whether up or down, that's a tell. Okay?
Huge.
Get into the reasons why. Is it weather? Is it an injury? Is it opportunity? Is it whatever? Is it matchup? But use those as baselines. Get your player's baseline, know what it is, and then adjust up or down. And that's one of the tools I use. Number 2, this is a dead obvious and should be the first thing you look at every day.
Hang on, before you go on. First of all, that tool, okay, that's called analytics.
Yeah.
That's taking the time to analyze. Take it from somebody who is a feel wagerer, a feel better, okay? And I'm pretty good at feel. I'm pretty good at seeing the situations ahead of time. But what he's talking about is minute analytics that could be the difference between winning or losing.
Yeah, it's
So if you
huge.
take it serious, you have to pay attention to that. It's just that simple.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Sorry if I'm taking the fun out of it. It sounds like homework, but
it is homework.
isn't winning fun?
Yeah, it is when you
Winning
do
is,
win.
Winning is fun.
Yeah. All right. Weather. It's the number one. Baseball, certainly, it depends if you play or not. But also football, it's huge. The biggest factor in weather is the wind. Okay, it affects the downfield passing game. It affects the kicking game, which is points production. That's how you move the ball in football. Okay, and that's how you score points. So wind is a huge factor.
Huge.
I use Kevin Roth Weather. He's a meteorologist, real renowned guy. He's out of California somewhere. It doesn't matter. He's a West Coast Fruit Loop, but who cares? But he does it for baseball, does it for football. He updates it within every hour. It's a great site to use. He codes it color-wise.
He's money.
And gives you what the weather is going to be like in the games. Now, earlier in the season
Shout
for
out to
football,
Kevin Roth, by the way.
we don't need to worry so much about weather. But now, as we start to get into some of the colder climates,
Weather ain't getting no better.
it's going to be something we're going to have to monitor. So check your weather. Okay, number 3, opportunity. Opportunity, game script. Look at another game with a huge line. Packers today are a 14-point favorite. Are you chasing receivers in that game? Well, the line would suggest that you're not going to. Because if the Packers get a comfortable lead, which is what everybody's telling you, then they may not need to throw the ball in the second half. So why cap your ceiling in a situation like that when you know potentially that they may not need to use your players when they matter? So look at game script. Look at higher totals, closer spreads. An example would be the Dallas game. It's only a 3-point spread, but yet the total's in the 50s. So you think both teams are competitive. Game script's going to suggest the game stays that way, and you're going to need continued production from both sides. So that's something you have to look at.
Well, one trend that's happening in the NFL right now, you're talking about pulling up and taking it easy with a lead. You are seeing teams that are continuing to push the issue, even though they may be up 17, 20, 21.
Go
whatever.
watch the Denver Giant game today,
Right. Oh,
and you'll
yeah.
see
Well,
where
yeah.
no lead is safe apparently in the
Right.
NFL now.
Exactly.
It's almost like the NBA.
So don't sit there and think that somebody's just going to sit on a 17-point lead. No, they're going to try to get first downs and matriculate the ball down the field. And at the very least, take time off the clock and kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's going to be more points to be had. Okay, but like going back to weather tends to mitigate that. So
One little
you got to
thing.
weigh.
One little
Either
thing
or.
that I wanted to add to the game script was when you get into game script, the script essentially is what happens in the game, essentially, right? So one of the important things that happens in the
A little
game
condescending, don't you think?
is how many touches a player will get. If a player gets touches, that means he gets opportunities.
Say it slow.
So if you get lots of touches, you get lots of opportunities, you get opportunities to score points, and that's what we're looking for.
I have never seen anybody sitting on the bench score a goddamn thing.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. I use a site called Football Guys, and they basically break down snap counts, snap share, red zone targets.
Is that footballguys.com?
It's just Football Guys. You put it in, it'll come up. They're out there. Just get the stories for each of the games. Find out why a guy had that production.
It's footballguys.com.
Yeah. If a
Shout out.
particular player all of a sudden one week has 8 catches for 100 yards and it stands out to you, don't assume that the next week he's going to get that same production. A lot of times we chased last week's production.
Not even elite receivers.
Yeah, go find why that happened first and then determine if you think that that script is going to move forward. And a lot of times you'll see that it doesn't. So get into the stories. Use the tools that are out there. There's so many tools out there. Okay.
I have a really good one for you. A tool that you could use that you could chart players. And it's really simple. It's really basic. And it's on the ESPN Fantasy app. As you're going through your fantasy players, just go and look at the game log. The game log will tell you a lot. Okay, it'll tell you the targets. It'll tell you your targets, catches. It'll show you the trends. Because remember, they're stacking them week to week. So you can compare those statistics week to week and see how a player is up, down, and you can see who their opponents are coming up.
It does
So
help, yeah.
you
There's
got
lots
to
of ways.
use tools,
Yeah.
people.
All right. Number 4, opponents' strengths and weaknesses. Very simple. Go look at the yardage charts. If a team is number 1 versus the run, you're probably not starting a running back against them. Okay,
Not unless he can catch the ball.
unless he can catch the ball, or there are factors that
Or
make
he's going to have 400 touches.
Yeah. So Run over the pass. Find out what the teams are good at. Find out what they're not good at. And then try and exploit those weaknesses. Injuries play a big part in this too. Tell the story. If a team is missing their best linebacker and they're generally in the top 5 versus the run, well, maybe that's a spot where you can kind of get away with it, if you had to. Because, again, there's a reason why that they're top 5, and there's a reason why they may not get that same performance today. So injuries play a big part in that as well. All right, number 5, and then we'll wrap it up here. All right, back to number 4, tools, real quick. On DK, when you look at matchups, I know they do this on DK. If you ever look at the positionals, like the receivers, tight ends, and stuff, you ever see that little green number that's next to the player, opponent ranking?
Oh, yeah.
Or the little red number that says opponent ranking? Well, as we're kids, we learned red, stop, green, go.
Right.
Pretty simple, right? Another tool. Why is it green? I bet you if you looked at the reasons why, you'd see that team is either bad against the position, or if they're red, they're good against the position. So use that. Again, they're just telling you it's information. It's free. Use it. Number 5. This is one of my most important things in terms of tournament lineup structure.
How important is it?
It's so important. It's zig when they zag. Okay? It's pretty simple. Here's the logic behind that. Right now in the industry, there are so many lineup generators that are out there, lineup optimizers, okay,
right,
that are all lineup trains, whatever other terms you want to use. They're all pushing the same sets of lineups, the same core of players. And what's happening is you're looking at some of these multi-entity tournaments where you can put in 50 or 100 lineups, and there's a lot of overlay where there shouldn't be. And why? Because guys are putting in similar lineups because they're using the same optimizers.
Yeah.
If you want to win, you can't use those optimizers. You have to make your own optimizer. You have to take your own chances. You can't just go into a situation and know that if a guy's going to be 70% owned, that he's automatically the guy you're going to plug in there. And that's not the case. Now, in cash games, I get it. Okay, cash games, you're looking for free squares. And a 70% owned guy that should probably be 70% owned, that's a free square. You take it, you move on.
And run for your life.
Yeah, but in tournaments, when you're trying to take down the big prizes, you got to have variance, guys. You got to be different. You can't just follow the lineup trains, and you can't look at it. And there are guys that it happens every week. One of the popular plays today, for instance, is going to be, let's say, Trayvon Henderson. Okay, now I can argue against this, and I'm going to, because you can see.
Are you looking at my phone while
No.
I'm checking my fantasy lineup?
I'm saying
because I
that.
got Trayvon Henderson in.
Oh wow, because Stevenson's been the story. We were all waiting for Henderson to pop. And now, all of a sudden, because you have opportunity, you assume he's just going to plug in that role and he's going to get production. May not be the case.
We're hoping.
And the other 70% are
And
too.
the conditions are right for it.
And they are. But that's a spot where you maybe don't jump on. You maybe let everybody else take the leap of faith, and you sit back here, and if it doesn't come to fruition, you got a head start on the entire field.
Well, at least you don't look like a mo.
Well, you don't look like a sheep is what it is. You don't fall in line. So these are some of the approaches I like to use to just be consistent on how you do your research, on the tools that you use, and how you apply them to building fantasy lineups. And also, again, guys, we talk about fantasy lineups. This marries right into in gambling and props.
Of course.
Because it's the same thing. Building a fantasy lineup, I want my guys to catch passes, run for a lot of yards, and score touchdowns.
Yep.
It's no different with props. It's the same thing. So they're very
Play
close.
to win the game.
So that's what I got.
Well, speaking of what you got, by the way, I am favored by 5 points in my Motley Crue League game. So, wonder what ingenious way I will find to lose this game. This is the first time I've been favored in about a month.
It's been disappointing.
So, yeah, it's been a sad, disappointing football season for me. I am slowly but surely losing left and right. And one of the main frustration points is, of course, my Miami Dolphins. For those of you who have been living under a rock for the last few days, Chris Greer has been relieved of duty.
Bye.
They said it was a mutual parting of ways. I see it as Stephen Ross paying him off to go away. And people are a little apoplectic, a lot of hand-wringing about Mike McDaniel remaining. And I have to explain something to a few of you people, okay? McDaniel and Tua are in lockstep. they are inexorably married. They just are. And we're talking about for the length of that contract. And if you really want to get technical and everybody's like, oh, get rid of Tua. Listen, Cupcake. He's not only here next year, okay, because it'll cost $56 million to cut him, okay? And he's not as bad as Russell Wilson. Sorry. He's just not. Okay? But they're probably going to keep Mike McDaniel because remember, last year they gave him an extension. Before the season, before the 2024 season, they gave him an extension. So Ross will stick with this guy. We've seen Ross stick with Adam Gase a year too long, and I think we'll see him stick with Mike McDaniel a year too long. Now, whether it pays off, because it has a chance to pay off, but there's going to have to be a significant upgrade in personnel. Okay, because the bottom line is, as much as the deficiencies you see in Mike McDaniel, you don't like his little what are those? His gabardine pants with the high cuffs, and you don't like his shoe game, and you don't like how he talks like a California stoner, and you just you think he's a snowflake coach, and that's fine. You can think of all of that shit you like, okay? But the reason why Chris Greer, in spite of what Stephen A. Smith may infer as being a racist situation, Chris Greer was let go, or they went their separate ways because Chris Greer, for the last 4 seasons, has been just a plethora of diminishing returns as far as personnel moves is concerned. Okay, and it all really, I mean, in every era you see a nexus. You see the one wrong move that sets off everything else. And being a Dolphin fan,
Drew Brees.
Exactly. Thank you. Right there. Okay. Being a lifelong Dolphin fan, it's Drew Brees again. Except now, it's an offensive lineman. Okay. I take you back to 2021, the 2021 draft.
Please.
I'll take you right back there. Miami Dolphins are up in the second round. In the second round, I believe they had the 22nd overall pick in the second round. And they traded up. And I got really excited because I wanted them to draft a need player, consensus all-pro center from Oklahoma University, Creed Humphreys. It was a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Oh, they're trading up. Oh, and with the third pick in the second round, the Miami Dolphins pick Liam Eichenberg.
Ted Ginn and his entire
offensive tackle, Notre Dame. A guy who hadn't played since 2019 because of COVID. And a guy who was second-team All-American tackle. So he had bona fide. He was not consensus All-American center. Okay, something you needed. No, you had to go and reach for this guy. And then 2 picks later, the Kansas City Chiefs trade up from 30th to draft Creed Humphreys. Now, let me ask you, okay, what is Creed Humphreys' career been like in the 4 years since?
He's okay.
He's okay?
Yeah.
3 All-Pros?
I know he has a couple of Super Bowl rings.
Pro Bowl every year. 3 All-Pros. All-Pro center. Okay, not tackle or guard where there's 2 of each. Center.
He got rings.
He's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
He got rings.
We got Liam Eichenberg.
Who's not related to Jamie at all. Just saying.
So that's it. That is the nexus right there. Okay, because from there, you have just a dumpster fire of bad offensive line moves. Okay, I'm the only person in Miami that did not have a boner for Teron Armstead. I saw when he came over from the Saints, he was a guy who missed half the games he played. He was constantly injured. Elite offensive tackle, constantly injured. What's the best availability?
Healthy.
What's the best ability? Availability. was not excited about him. Okay, you went and got him. They let Robert Hunt go. They could have paid him. They let him go. Now, Robert Hunt's been all kinds of injured since he's gone to Carolina.
He's such a Hunt.
But you could have kept Robert Hunt. Austin Jackson moved out to right tackle and has done okay. He's another guy who's been hurt all the damn time. The point is that you make one bad move, and especially when it comes to an offensive line, and it's a cascading effect. It just is. And his bad moves in free agency, his bad moves in the draft. The guy has been in charge for 9 years. Okay, his peers, Howie Roseman, okay, amongst others, have fared far better. Okay? Well, Chris Greer, you no longer get to pull the football out in front of not only this guy but me. Okay? Bye. Sorry about your dad passing away. You have my condolences. Okay?
20 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time with the organization.
Long time. Okay, but goodbye.
How long have you been with your organization?
Since 1965.
Oh, it's a long time.
There's a picture out there of me at about a month and a half wearing an aqua onesie.
It was probably a twosie.
And the team, no, it was a onesie. I was a big baby, but it wasn't that big. Okay.
I get love for the twosies.
The team had a name when I was born, and that was all they had, was a name.
Yes, it.
They didn't play until the 66 season.
They had a kicker.
They had a kicker. Okay, so
kickers.
Bye-bye Chris Greer. He has been replaced by a bean counter, which is fine. And the Dolphins are just trying to get through the season and have reason to pull a rebuild. They're going to retool, and I can guarantee you. Oh, and just a lasting legacy, by the way, for Chris Greer.
Yes.
This Savanea kid that they drafted in the second round, the guard. Atrocious.
Take that on your way out.
Well, hopefully he improves. So that's the reason. That's the reason why you're going to see McDaniel next year. You're going to see Tua next year. The only hope is that if they show improvement, the only hope is that they go and get two really good offensive linemen. They retool that offensive line to be superior. They've got a really good left tackle. We're finding out Patrick Paul, big man, can ball out. They know that. But, you know, this just, it's been coming for a while. It just has. And
Chargers linebacker questionable, Dayon Henley, because his brother got shot, killed.
God, please.
In
Seriously?
LA. His brother got shot and killed.
Oy vey. Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up because, oh shit, it's 12:20. That was only a 7-minute rant. I can rant some more.
No, you were talking about
I got more.
God, it was a long time.
No?
No.
I got years of frustration built up.
You don't think I got some?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, we were just talking about how the Steelers and the Dolphins are very similar in as much as you got a coach that relates to a certain group of players, and but it's always a mediocre result.
Wow.
It is what it is. All right.
And F. Otani.
We're going to do this next week. You going to be here? Are you going to go to a volleyball tournament or anything like that?
No, Bree has it, but I'm coming back Saturday, so I'll be here.
Good.
I'll be here. Yeah. Bree went. Her team made it to states.
Woohoo!
So they're going.
Oh, okay.
To,
So they had the tournament last week.
They had districts all the time, all through the last couple of weeks. They won all their games. Now they go to state. They're playing in Winter Haven this weekend.
Get them, Red.
So their team went 23-3, I think, on the year.
Get them, Red.
So yeah, they're pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on behalf of myself and this guy who can't seem to stay off his computer, what are you looking at now? He's
Everything.
got like 9 windows open. He's going nuts over here.
Well, I got my targets. I got my adjusted roster.
Okay, good.
I got my DK.
Good luck, everybody. Make a bunch of money.
Defensive stats.
Win your games. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for not coming today. I brought you donuts, by the way.
Here on the Gonzo Radio, next to the Gonzo Radio Sports. Bye.